Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everyone. Thank you to join us today. It's very nice that you join to this last minute workshop with a very interesting school, AIM in Paris, France, Hospitality School. We have with us here today Mrs. Hill Whitney from Paris directly. Mrs. Whitney Hill, please unmute yourself and come alive.
Okay, I'm here and I'm alive. So, so first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. So I'm with you from AIM in Paris. We are a small management school that specializes in hospitality management. We have one location, which is in Paris. All of our classes are taught 100% in English. And as I said, we are a very small school, so we have about 100 students total at the school. Between our students and teachers, they represent over 20 different countries worldwide, so it's a very international ambiance. We offer three different programs at AIM. We offer a Bachelor of Science program, which is 3 years. And what I can do is, would you like me to share a PowerPoint with you right now to
Yes,
kind of,
yes.
okay,
Mrs. Hill, you started immediately, very fast. I just
okay,
wanted to steal 1 minute before. In the meantime, you can share your screen
okay.
because I can see that more agents are joining us at the moment. We are quite reaching 30 agents who join us. Thank you very much, everyone, to be here on time. And now we will start with the presentation of AIM Paris. Mrs. Hill will now start to share her screen and put up the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
So this event is recorded, and after the workshop, I will do a follow-up email, and I will send to everyone a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. I
Mhm.
will send a copy of the recorded workshop, so you have all the details. I will share with you the email contact of Mrs. Hill
Mhm.
so that you can then contact her directly.
Of
And
course.
if you are seriously interested to start a cooperation, you will be able to sign a contract with the school directly. So thank you very much, everyone, to be join us. I think we are quite ready to start. If is any questions, there is a
Mhm.
chat below on Zoom. You put your question down on chat so that we are able to answer you. And I invite everyone to remain on mute modality. This is very, very important during the presentation to remain on mute modality. If not, we have a problem to speak. So I can see more and more join us, more fantastic. Thank you very much to be here on time. I can see we have agents from all around the world today, from CIS country, from Asia, from Europe, from the Middle East. So thank you very, very much. I always steal 1, 2 minutes until everyone is settled down. So we are here with the International Hotel and Tourism Management School, Mrs. Hill, which, by the way, she will be as well in London at the WEBA workshop and conference on the 22 of October. So if some of you already sign up for WEBA London, you will meet her in person directly, but now you have this opportunity to hear about the school online, and I think this is a first step for you to know more about the program offering. So Mrs. Hill, the floor is all yours. You can start.
Okay, so thank you again for having me. So my name is Whitney Hill, and I'm the director at AIM in Paris. I'm also the person that really manages all of the online applications and has the first contact with any prospective students who are interested in our programs, and then schedule the interviews. So as I said, we are a very small management school in Paris. We have one location, which is in the 13th district of Paris. It is a very international school with over 20 countries that are represented by our teachers and our students. And we have about 100 students at the school. So it's a school where everybody knows each other. So if somebody is looking to be anonymous, it's not really the school for them because everybody sees each other every day and everybody knows everybody's name. So we accept a maximum of 30 students per class, and I'm going to explain each of our programs that we have. I'll also go into the admissions process, the tuition, and some of our international and French recognitions for you. So that's all been put together in the PowerPoint. So to start with, let's see. Oops, sorry, going too fast for you. Okay. So we have three different programs that are offered at AIM. And again, all of the programs are taught completely in English. Our teachers speak a minimum of French and English, and obviously, if they're from other countries, they may speak three or four languages. What is really important to know about our teachers is that they either currently still work in the hospitality industry or they have worked in the past and they have been in top managerial positions, whether it's, GM of a hotel or head of F&B. They really bring their personal experience into the classroom, which is really interesting for our students. And they've worked all over the world as well. So we have our Bachelor of Science, which is a 3-year program in France. We have a Bachelor of Arts degree, which is a 1-year program, and a Master of Science, which is a 2-year program. So I'm going to start just by explaining the Bachelor of Science program, what is necessary for the application, and the tuition fees, of course, because I know that's very important as well. So this diagram kind of illustrates the program because there's also an internship for the student each year of the program. So you can see that the students start at AIM. It's typically, depending on the year, end of September, very beginning of October. And they're at the school for 6 months of full-time classes. So they have between 22 and 24 hours of class each week. They then finish in April and they do their first internship. And for the first year, it's a minimum of 4.5 months. Some students do their internship in Paris, other parts of France. They can also go to other countries, which is no problem at all. It just needs to be validated with my colleague who's in charge of the internship program. So this really gives the student, and typically because Bachelor of Science, they're 18, 19 years old, they really go and get a great experience for 4.5 months and then return here for the second year with a different maturity. So it's really nice to see the first year students return and see what they've learned in their internships. And again, they return to the school for the second year. So again, they're here for 6 months. Um, and then that is followed by an internship that is 6 months. And the students can do 6 months because they don't return to the school until January. So they really have from mid-April to the end of December to carry out a 6-month internship. And this is the time where a lot of students really look into going very far abroad. We have students right now who are in Japan. We have some that go to Australia every year. Canada, and sometimes the United States. So they really do like to travel far. And again, they finish that and then they come back for the third year of the Bachelor of Science. And so from January through June, they're at the school for full-time classes. And then their choices after that are a possibility of one more internship. They can find a job right away if they prefer that, or they can continue their studies, and I'll go into that a little after. So that kind of explains the Bachelor of Science program. So for admissions, the prerequisite is obviously a high school diploma, the equivalent of a high school diploma. We also ask for the last 3 transcripts, so basically the last year and a half that they've been at school, so we can see their grades, any teachers' comments, a motivation letter written in English. If the student has grown up in an English-speaking country or has gone to a school where English is the primary language of instruction, then the school can just send a letter saying that, they did their studies in English. If not, we do ask for either YELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL, Cambridge, also Pearson is acceptable, to see their level. And I can tell you that our students typically have between the very minimum is a B1, but typically it's closer to B2 here. So that's the level of English. And in the school right now, out of about 100 students, there are only 3 native speakers of English. So for everyone, it's really their second language or third language. So everybody's also here to learn and practice their English. I can tell you the first couple of weeks, everyone is exhausted because they're doing full days in English. But it's something that they're doing together and they're all in the same situation together. So they get used to it. The tuition. For the first year, because there's an extra 200 euros for administration fees, so it's 11,800. And then second and third year, 11,600. That does not go up. Once the student starts here in the first year, we honor that each year and we never raise those prices, just so you know. We do have a possibility of a scholarship in the second and third year, if the student meets all of the requirements. So it is no unexcused absences, an average out of 100 for all their classes of an 85 or more, and success in the minimum 3 American certifications that we offer. And I'll explain those at the end. It's in another slide. And if the student does that, and it's limited to the top 3, then they receive a 50% reduction in their tuition fees. So that is kind of the overview of the program, the 3-year Bachelor of Science program. And again, this is what I had just shown you with the Bachelor of Science in blue. So now I'm going to explain the Bachelor of Arts program, which is below. And this is a 1-year program. And this is for students who have already done a 2-year diploma, so post high school. So they must have, in the United States, we say the equivalent of an associate's degree. In France, it's a BTS. So it's basically 2 full years in higher education in order to come and complete this with a 1-year program. So the Bachelor of Arts, again, is 6 months at the school in between beginning of October and April, and that is followed by a 6-month internship, again, either in France or abroad. And I'm going to also explain the Master of Science with this because the students are together in that year. So what we've done is we took the best of our Bachelor of Science program because we were having a demand, for either a master's program or for students who had done 2 years elsewhere but wanted to complete it. So we created a program which is the best of our Bachelor of Science, and that is, the first year, the Prepa for the Master of Science and the Bachelor of Arts. So for the Master of, if the student is directly enrolled in Master of Science, they're also with Bachelor of Arts, which you can see right here. So the students are together for that year, again, followed by a 6-month internship. And then they can return for the second year of the Master of Science, which is from January through June. And just like the previous program, they can do one more internship with us, or they obviously go out and find a job. So to explain the requirements and tuition fees here, for the Bachelor of Arts, as I said, they must have a 2-year diploma from another university. And for the master's students, they must have a bachelor's degree. They also need to provide the last 3 transcripts, a motivation letter in English. Again, if they're in a non-English speaking country, for their English level, either YELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL, Cambridge. And they can also provide letters of reference because many times these students already have professional experience in the industry, or they can provide, something from one of their teachers, which we're happy to read. So for the first year of each of these programs, it's 12,160 euros because again, there's the 200 euro administration fee. And then for the second year of the master's, it's 11,960 euros. So for all three of these programs, everything is done online. So all the applications are done online. Once all of the required documents are there, I'm notified, and then I can look at the profile online. And if I think that everything is in accordance to what we've asked for, then I will contact the student for an interview, typically via Zoom. And it's really to double check their level of English, to see how they present themselves. Because what's very important for our school is that we've worked with many hotels for many years, and our students represent the school. So we really want students who are motivated, are serious, and who are going to spend 6 months here, but also work in different hotels, in France and other countries and represent AIM, which is really important for us. So the interview is for me to kind of discover who the applicant is, what they're interested in. So that's all part of the process. Once I receive notification that the completed application is online, they will be contacted within a few days. And then I try to schedule the interview within the next week or two, depending on people's schedules. So we like to treat, the applicant as soon as possible and then give them an answer. After the interview, they receive an answer within 48 hours because I typically discuss it with two of my colleagues and then they receive an email. When they receive the email, they will get an acceptance letter as well as the school registration. And from that, they need to at least pay 50%. And once that is paid, then I issue them the official registration for the program that they're in, along with receipt of payment, and also an official acceptance letter on letterhead because they need all of these documents for Campus France to ask for their visa.
Mrs. Hill,
Yeah,
Mrs. Hill, sorry to interrupt you, but
mhm.
I have some question coming in from
Of
the
course.
agents, and I want to bring this question to you.
Mhm.
So if you can give me 2, 3 minutes. Also,
Of
the first
course.
question is, let's go back a second in refer of the internship. And
Mhm.
there are two questions here. You
Okay.
say that many of your students do an internship outside France, like
Yes.
Canada, you mentioned the United States, and other location.
Mhm.
So will the school assist the students for the visa process?
Okay, first, for the visa process, no, we give the required documents for Campus France. Okay, and
Okay.
then the student does the application with Campus France. The only interaction we have, and honestly, it depends on the country. Campus France will contact us sometimes, and it's not all the time, to verify that we've accepted a student, but it really depends on the country. So the only involvement we have is providing the proper documents. And then it's Campus France who decides if they get the visa or not based on the other parts of the application.
Yeah, this is clear, but the question was more in the direction during the study program when
Hmm.
they start with the first internship or the second one.
Hmm.
You mentioned that your students they do internship as well outside France,
Hmm.
so they come to study here. Will the school assist the students
Oh,
for?
I see. With the visa if they go outside.
Yeah,
What we tell our students every year is they have to be very careful what their visa lets them do. And it is up to each student because we have students from all over the world here. We cannot follow each one. So the student has to know where they can do their internship. We also tell them, and this is something I discuss in every interview, if the student does not speak any French, it is extremely difficult to find an intern.
yeah.
There has to be a basic level. And a lot of times, students, if that's the case, a lot of times students return to their home country to do the internship.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's very clear this part is very
Mhm.
important. So let's presume, we are based in Switzerland,
Right.
and as you know, hospitality is well known over
Of
here in
course.
Switzerland. So we get a lot of students from around Europe who do an internship here in Switzerland. So I presume it happened as well to your school to send students to Switzerland for internship, especially in the French region, like Geneva, Lausanne, etc.
We've had, yeah, and in the past, it's typically been French students who have gone there, so
Yeah.
not students with a visa at
Yeah.
that time. We also have every year we always have students who want to go to Spain to practice their Spanish.
Okay.
And then depending obviously on the nationality of students coming in, like I said, if there is no level of French, a lot of times they will go back to their home country
Yeah.
to do the internship.
Then we have more questions coming inside. You mentioned that they need to pay the deposit 50%, and this is
Yes.
very clear. On top of this, do they need to pay as well a registration fee? Because earlier you mentioned about 200 euros, something like that. Can you
That's
maybe
part of it.
clarify this point?
Yeah, so that's part of it on the registration form. It will say 200 euros and then the 50%. And so that needs to be done before we give official documents. If the visa is refused, which does happen unfortunately every year, what we need is the letter that it was refused, and then we will automatically reimburse the tuition fees, except for the 200 euro administration fees. Those are not reimbursed.
Okay, this is very clear. So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, the 200 euro registration fee, this will be not returned in
Mhm.
case the students will have rejected visa. But the 50%
Of
deposit,
course.
this will be returned so that everyone is very clear about
Mhm.
this point. Then we have other questions come inside. Okay, the deposit you mentioned. And yes, the question is the stay back in France. As you know, in the UK,
Mhm.
when they finish with the master, they can stay 3 years. If they finish with the bachelor, 2 years. How's the situation with France at the moment?
I can tell you what it is, but I can't guarantee it will stay that way.
Obvious, obvious, obvious,
Okay.
obvious.
And it's something I'll discuss later on. So our school has what is called an RNCP level 7 for their master's degree, which is what students need if they want to change their status and be able to stay for another year. So currently, I believe it's still the case. I can't tell you if the government will change that in years to come.
Obvious,
Yeah.
obvious, obvious. So it's 2 years.
Well, it's 1 year, I believe, to find something, and then you can change your status again.
Okay, okay, okay.
Uh,
Like, yes, it's very, very clear.
mhm.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mrs. Hill. Sorry to interrupting you,
No
but
problem.
sometimes when I have some question, I just bring.
Of course. And I think you had also, I want to answer this question. You had brought up if we assist in finding the internship. So, yes, we do help and we're here to guide. But it's also up to the student to decide, where do they want to do it? Are they interested, in a small boutique hotel or a palace hotel? So my colleague who works with me very closely, she's been in charge of our internship program for years and has contacts all over the world. So she is happy to, and we tell students every orientation day, make an appointment with her. She's happy to sit down, find out what their interests are, give her any contacts if they're interested in different countries. What we also do for our students every year, which works really well, we have it scheduled for this year. We always do the first week in December, and we have a forum at the school where we invite different human resources departments of different hotels come in so they can interview with our students. Right now, who is already scheduled, we have the Ritz coming, we have Marriott. And I'm waiting for confirmation from others, but I can tell you last year we had the Haute Care collection, which also has the Bristol, which is a palace hotel, the Shangri-La, the Mandarin we've worked with in the past. So it really is, it's a great day for students to really, they come in dressed up in their best suit, they have their CVs, and they can interview for different internships. And last year, I think about half of our students found their internship this day. And if they don't want to do an internship in France, we still obligate them to do at least 2 interviews for the experience. And then we're happy, if we have any contacts in the country they're interested in, to give them that. We also receive, just during the course of the year, we have hotels contact us about different positions that they have open, and then we transfer that to our students as well. So I think the positive of being such a small school is that we really have the time to do one-on-one with the students, and also to help them with their CV and cover letter in English, as well as in French for our students if they need.
During the internship, will be a pay internship?
Yeah, by law in France, I believe it's like 663 or 664 euros per month. So that's the law in France. If they go to other countries, I can't tell you what it is. It depends on that country's law and what contract they have. But so that's the minimum. We do have some hotels that pay more. And then we have students who are very motivated and try to negotiate more, which has worked in the past. But the minimum is about 664 euros that they have to be paid per month.
Yeah, and I presume usually when they do an internship in a hotel, they be accommodated inside in the
It
hotel.
depends.
It
In
depends.
Paris, basically no, because the hotels don't have the space. It really depends. In the south of France, we've worked with different hotels who do have lodging. And then it really depends if a hotel is, in the countryside outside, but in the city, it's very hard to get accommodation
Okay.
because the hotels just don't have it.
Yeah, but you as a school, because there's some question came inside, you as a school, you help the students for accommodation when they arrive?
No, yes and no. What I
Oh,
do is every year, I send, for all the accepted students, in May and June, I contact with them about Orientation Day, and they receive a list of residences that our students have used in the past that I update every year. But directly, I do not find them housing. That's up to the student. And I can tell you, every year I don't have people emailing me or calling saying I need help.
okay.
So they typically find it. There are a lot of student residences in Paris or right outside that they typically use, and a lot of them have, recently been updated. So our students, I talk to them every year and I add to the list if they recommend anything else.
Yeah, you answer the question that just came inside at the moment from an agent.
Okay.
In the meantime, other question came inside. This is always answering questions, this workshop. We go a little bit on the visa department.
Okay.
So a question was very specific. Maintenance requirement, bank statement for bachelor and master degree and duration, they need to be maintained prior to the visa application. As you know, in the UK, usually they need to put inside some money and they should be inside in the bank for about 28 days minimum.
Each country is different. That's what I've learned with Campus France. So I can't tell you the specifics of each country, but you can contact Campus France in your country to find out what is required. And some countries are much more difficult than others with the
Yeah,
process.
yeah. Okay, okay. So this information from Campus France, I will share with everyone
Yeah.
after the workshop when I will do a follow-up email and I will share with you all the details. So Mrs. Hill, you can continue with the presentation.
Okay. So I think I've covered, let's see, the three programs. I wanted to come back to this. So for our students who do the 3 years at AIM, so the 3 years of Bachelor of Science, if they want to stay and do their master's at AIM, they go directly into the second year of the master's program. So that means, and they do have to do an internship again before doing it, but it means you can see here they finish their third year of the bachelor in June. They do another 6-month internship, and then they go directly into the master's program and for 6 months, and then in 4 years they can have two different degrees. So that's really a plus for the students who do their 3 years here. And I can tell you just from my experience in the past few years, for this year, the students returning, it is 35% of, no, actually, no, it's more. About 45% of the class is staying to do their master's. And some of them have decided to go to other schools to do different graduate work because they really want to pursue diverse things. And others have decided to go right into the work industry and find a job right away. So that's something I just wanted to add about our program for our students who start here at the beginning with Bachelor of Science.
Another question, Mrs. Hill, sorry, but the question come inside, just a very small question. But the French language is included in the schedule of the program.
No, it's not. Everything is in English, but that I'm also going to talk about what we do. Here, I'm gonna skip through the slides really quickly for you to show you. Hold on. Okay, so this is actually, if you're looking at the screen right now, this is called CIUP. It's about a 10-minute walk from our school. We do our orientation day between our school and there. You can see at the top right, this is their library. So every start of the year, we bring our students here. They have a visit of the library and they receive a library card. The library has all been redone. It's absolutely beautiful. And they have a language lab that offers 36 different languages. So we tell our students who really want to practice their French that they have access to this lab, and we provide a library card every year if they would like. Because in the past, we used to have a French class here, but what we found, there were so many different levels that it was kind of not impossible, but difficult for the teacher to meet with them once a week and really have, constant progression when you have people with 10 different levels in a class. So we decided to focus on really the student working independently. So a lot of our students go there to practice French, as well as other languages that they're interested in. Like I said, we have a student right now in Japan, and she's French, so she used to go there to practice her Japanese. We also have students who do decide to sign up for, private French classes that they do after school, but our schedule is extremely busy. They're in school from 9 to 4:30 every day. And there's also really not time in the schedule to do separate language classes. But looking at the photo too, this is actually on the bottom right. Those are our students from 2 years ago because we also do our graduation here every year.
Very nice.
And
Very,
yeah,
very
and we bring
nice.
them. So those are our students in the pictures. And and we also bring them there to show them the cafeteria because that's an option to eat every day if they'd like to. They can either eat at the school. We don't have a cafeteria, but we have places for them to eat, obviously with microwaves, or they can walk to CIUP.
Mrs. Hill, do you
Yeah.
have students from Vietnam?
Yes, every year.
Fantastic.
Every year. We have
We
a lot
we
of.
have we have one of our agent which is with us here today,
Mhm.
Dan Tran from Sunrise Vietnam,
Okay.
and they are at the moment in Paris,
Okay.
and they just ask me questions which I share with you. Can
Mhm.
they visit the school? Can they come to say
Of,
hello to you?
of course, with pleasure. You
Okay,
can give them my email at the end if
I
they want
will.
to
I
email
will.
me this afternoon, and we can set something up. If they're only here for a few days, I'm happy to meet with them tomorrow morning if they want to come. That's fine.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I will answer the questions. Yes,
Hmm.
and details will be shared. So thank you very much, Dan Tran, to ask me these questions.
And
Nice to know
also,
that you're in Paris.
for if they can come to the school, I'm happy for them to meet with some of our Vietnamese students if they'd like to get, the personal feedback from our students.
Yeah, this is always very, very good. I
Yeah,
mean, this is fantastic. If you can give this
of
opportunity,
course. Yeah,
I'm sure the agent will be more than happy. Thank you, Mrs. Hill. Sorry again, but
no problem. Okay, let me just go back. Okay. Before I go to the next slide, this just because you just made me think of this. As I said, if Dan Tran can come in, I'm happy for him to speak to some of our Vietnamese students. When I schedule Zoom interviews with some of our international students, if we have a student from the same country, then I automatically put them in contact because I think it's really important for our applicants to be able to speak to our current students because they can speak to me, but they have a different perception from me, working at the school. But I really put everyone who applies in touch, if they want to, with a current student so they can ask any questions they have just about their student life here and what the classes are like and what the students think. So I think it's really important to be transparent with everyone and for them to see different sides of the school as well and not just the administration side. Um, Moving on. So right now, I'm just going to talk briefly. These are some French certifications that are really important in France. So Calliope started in 2022, and this really just certifies strict national quality standards for training. So we are all updated with our Calliope certification. What is also extremely important is, and this is through France Compétences. So at our level, it's called RNCP. The translation is really a French National Directory of Professional Certifications. Level 6 is for the bachelor's program, so it's basically 3 years post-secondary school, so Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts. And level 7 is for the Master of Science. So what is really important is because you had asked about the stay back. For a student to have this, the school has to have the RNCP level 7 for a master's. What it also means is, as a private school with these levels, AIM is offering official career relevant qualifications that are recognized by the state and they're recognized by the ministry, by the French ministry. So it's really important for us. It's something that we have to update, every 3 to 5 years and go through the process. And it really certifies the competence of our programs. So that's important for us. We have a partnership with ALE in the United States, which is the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute. And for each year that the student is here, there's the minimum per year of 3 American certifications that they can have. Now, in order to obtain the certification, they must have a 70 out of 100 for the exam. And they can retake the exam, but it's an online exam that they do, and it's at the end of the year, and it's part of their final exam. And when they receive these, I mean, this is kind of a copy of what the certifications look like, but it's a really nice plus on their CV. And just to give you an idea of how it changes over the years, for the bachelor program, for the first year, let's see, we have managing beverage operations, front office management, managing housekeeping, because it's really the first year of discovery, into the hospitality world. And then the second and third year really become more concrete. And each class is like a department of the hotel. And you'll see certifications such as sales and marketing, human resources, financial accounting, and then moving on, we move into managerial accounting, revenue management, in the master's level. So the ALICE certifications, we're the one school, I believe I don't know if there are any more, but as of last year, we were the only school that had a partnership in France, which means if anybody wanted to take any of the exams in France, they would have to contact us to do it. So we're licensed to do that with them. Let's see. So the question is, what can a student do after doing their studies here? What I invite you to do is, if you go to our website, you can click on LinkedIn and you can see what our previous students who are now working in the field, you can see what they're doing. And it really depends on the student. As I said, we're a management school. So our goal is for our students to have managerial positions in their future careers. So we have students who fall in love with revenue management every year. Every year we have students who really love that. Others who are into event planning. Others want to stay in restoration, in F&B. Some open up their own restaurants. And then, like I said, with revenue management, there are some that just love numbers and want to be in accounting. So it really is, I think the hospitality industry, there's so many different levels to what people can do, especially in the larger hotels, obviously. There's so many different departments that you can work in. So it really is a large area to find opportunity. I think the next one is, so this is an example, and you can see him on our website, Mathieu, who started off doing his bachelor's with us. He's now a regional director in charge of revenue management with Hyatt Hotels. So again, if you go to our website and click on the LinkedIn, I think he's the first person you see, and then you can see a list of different students and what they're doing now in their careers. Let's see, I showed you this. This is just to give you an idea. where we are. So we're directly in Paris. We're very close to the RER, which is one of the trains that goes in and out of Paris. The metros, the buses, and the tramways are all very close. And the students do have access to CIUP to go to the library or to go eat lunch there if they'd like. This is a park, which is right next to the school. So not during the winter, but during, beginning and in the spring, the students typically go have lunch there sometimes if it's nice outside. Um,
Beautiful. It looked like to be in Tokyo.
it's beautiful. And then this is just to kind of we're really proud of this too. So obviously our motto is aim is the name, management is the game. But it's our second year in a row where we are ranked number one in the master's program with Ed Universal. And for our bachelor's program, we're number four. So we're really proud of that as well. So that's kind of I hope I was able to answer like everyone's questions. If there's any more, I'm happy to.
Yes, there
Yeah,
are more
I'm
questions.
ready.
Very good. So, Mrs. Dantran is asking me, that's mean AIM has RNCP status? This is the
Yes.
question.
Well, it's recognition. Yeah, we have RNCP. Level 6 is for bachelor's and level 7 is for master's. That's what we have. And if anybody is interested in this, it's a very simple to see if a school has it. You go to France Compétences to their website and you can put in the school and it will automatically show
Yeah.
what level the school has.
Yeah. Then Otto Laszlo from Hungary, which I know him since many years, had some question as well. Otto, please come live. Unmute yourself. One more.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to know
Mhm.
if the European Union members, like Hungary, has different uh, rules or not. For visa, for example, I think we don't need visa, do we?
No, if you're part of the EU, there's no need for a visa. And then,
Yes.
like I said, with my experience with Campus France, every country, there are basic rules, but some countries are stricter than others with their requirements. And I don't, for visa requirements, I don't see the file that is sent to Campus France. I only see what I give them from the school's perspective. So I can't even when it's refused, the reasoning is not always detailed. I really don't know the reason why it's refused sometimes. And
Yeah,
it could be.
but from Hungarian students, they just apply to you, and if
Yeah, of
you
course. Anybody
and
in the
if
EU, you just apply.
yeah, and they don't need to go to the
No,
office for
no.
visa.
Any country that's part of the EU, we just need a copy of their passport. That's all. That's part of
Yeah.
the application. Yeah.
Another question. You mentioned that people can go to abroad, for example, Japan and other countries for the
Mhm.
internship. Do you help them or do you offer them
We do.
workplace?
We assist them in helping them. We do not place them. Okay.
So,
But if a student is having trouble or is interested in certain things, then we will help them.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Otto. Thank you
That's
very
for
much.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, then Andrea, I presume she's from Romania. Andrea, if I'm correct, Raluca Andrea Vantu. You can come live. You just need to unmute yourself. Yes.
There she is. Hello.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, originally I'm from Romania, but I'm working across Turkey, Istanbul,
Okay.
Malta, and UK.
Mhm.
Yes, she will be very much interested to have a direct contact with you, Mrs. Hill.
That would
She
be
just
great. Yeah.
mentioned me your email details. So, Mrs. Hill, if it's possible, can you maybe share your email on the chat system so that Mrs. Andrea Vantu Raluca is able to contact you immediately, and as well the agents from Vietnam who want to talk to you and visit the campus directly.
Of
So
course.
and
I'm
other
just
people, if some of you are in Paris or you plan to go to Paris in the next weeks, next month, or next year, you have the opportunity to contact her directly, organize a meeting, schedule an appointment, etc. So Mrs. Hill already put now her email address down on the chat box, but I will do an immediate follow-up email with all of you, and I will again put inside all the details. Maybe Mrs. Hill, can you do me another favor? Can you maybe put your mobile phone or no, your phone number that the lady from Vietnam, Mrs. Dan Tran or Mr. Dan Tran, I never know if it's Mr. or Mrs., can contact you to schedule a visit at the campus.
Sure. I just put it on there right now with the country code. So.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. It was a very good presentation. Can I share? Can you maybe send me a copy of your up-to-date PowerPoint, or is this
of course,
today?
No, I'll send that to you. And again, as you said, I'm really excited to go to London. And if any of you are there, really happy to meet you. And thank you to you for this great opportunity to really, put our school out there. And I hope to speak to many of you soon. And I'm happy to welcome you in Paris when you're here with a croissant and coffee.
Yeah. So, Mrs. Hill, we will wait to have a nice photo from you and the agent from Vietnam, so I can share this with everyone here with us today, so they see a little bit that we are networking. This is always very important. Thank you all the agents for joining us.
Yeah. So I will visit your school. Thank you very much. My name is Chantigan, and I'm the lady. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, why don't you send me an SMS, and then we can organize a time.
Sure. Thank you.
Would you like to meet some of our Vietnamese students?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. I'll talk to you soon.
With me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Tran. Thank you very much. Again, the school has Vietnamese students since a long time, but I presume you have as well students coming from other countries. Maybe you can mention a few. You welcome students from India, for example?
We do. We do. Every year we have India. We have this. I'll give you our students this year because so we have Algeria, Brazil, Cambodia, France, of course, Germany, Italy. We have Japan, Lebanon, Moldova for the first time, Morocco, Namibia, Nigeria, Poland, the Philippines, the United States, Russia, and Vietnam.
Wow.
Thank you. That's great.
Wow. Congratulations.
No, it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic. So on the 22nd of October, we have our workshop in London, and it will be at the Hilton Wembley Hotel. So Wembley Stadium, very simple. Wembley Stadium. Inside the Wembley Stadium is the Hilton Hotel. So we will have the workshop there. If some of you want to jump in and not registered yet, so you're more than welcome to join us. In case you already registered, see you soon. And yes, thank you again, Mrs. Hill. Have a great lunch at your school. And thank you, everyone. Have a good health and hope to welcome you near soon with us here.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.